Russia and China are two of the world's major military powers. While they share a similar history and political ideology, their military capabilities differ in several ways. In this article, we will explore the differences in military strength between Russia and China. Budget and spending. Russia and China both have significant military budgets. According to SIPRI, the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, Russia's military budget was approximately $61.7 billion in 2020, while China's was $252 billion. China's military spending has been growing rapidly over the past decade, and it now has the second largest military budget in the world, after the United States. Russia, on the other hand, has been reducing its military spending in recent years due to economic constraints. Manpower. Russia and China both have large armies. Russia has an active military force of approximately 1 million personnel, while China's active military force is over 2 million. However, Russia has a larger reserve force, with approximately 2.5 million personnel compared with China's 510,000. In terms of military personnel per capita, Russia has a higher rate than China. Technology and equipment. Both Russia and China have made significant strides in developing advanced military technology and equipment. Russia is known for its advanced missile systems, including the S-400 and the Iskander-M, while China has developed advanced anti-ship missiles, stealth aircraft, and aircraft carriers. Russia has a larger fleet of nuclear-powered submarines, but China's submarine fleet is growing rapidly. Nuclear weapons. Both Russia and China are nuclear powers, but Russia has a larger arsenal of nuclear weapons than China. Russia has approximately 6,372 nuclear warheads, while China has approximately 350. Russia also has a larger fleet of strategic bombers, which are capable of delivering nuclear weapons. Military alliances. Russia and China both have alliances with other countries. Russia is a member of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, CSTO, which includes several former Soviet republics. China is a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, which includes several Central Asian countries. However, China has also developed closer ties with other countries, including Pakistan and Iran. In conclusion, while both Russia and China are major military powers, they have different strengths and weaknesses. China has a larger military budget and active military force, while Russia has more advanced missile systems and a larger nuclear arsenal. Ultimately, the military capabilities of both countries will continue to evolve as they compete for regional and global influence. Geographic location. Russia is the world's largest country, spanning 2 continents and bordering multiple countries. This gives Russia strategic advantages in terms of defense and projection of military power. Russia also has access to the Arctic Ocean, which is becoming increasingly important due to melting ice caps and the potential for new shipping routes. China, on the other hand, is mostly bordered by other countries and has less access to the ocean. However, China has been expanding its naval capabilities and has been building ports and naval bases in strategic locations, such as in the South China Sea. Military doctrine. Russia and China have different military doctrines. Russia's military doctrine is focused on defense, with an emphasis on deterrence, and the use of nuclear weapons. Russia's military strategy also emphasizes the use of special forces and intelligence operations. China's military doctrine, on the other hand, is focused on modernization and the development of a strong navy and air force. China's military strategy also emphasizes the use of technology in cyber warfare. International relations. Russia and China have a complex relationship. While they share some political and economic interests, they also compete with each other for influence in Central Asia and other regions. Russia has historically been suspicious of China's growing power and influence, and China has been wary of Russia's close ties with the United States and other Western countries. However, both countries have also cooperated on issues such as opposition to US-led military intervention and support for North Korea. In summary, while both Russia and China are significant military powers, they differ in terms of budget, manpower, technology, nuclear weapons, military alliances, geographic location, military doctrine, and international relations. Understanding these differences is important for analyzing their strategic interests and potential conflicts, as well as for predicting future developments in their military capabilities. Cyber warfare. Both Russia and China are known for their advanced cyber warfare capabilities. Russia is believed to have interfered in the 2016 U.S. presidential election and has been accused of targeting other countries with cyber attacks. China has also been accused of engaging in cyber espionage and theft of intellectual property. Both countries have developed sophisticated cyber weapons and are investing in artificial intelligence and other technologies to enhance their capabilities. Space capabilities. Both Russia and China have made significant advancements in space technology and have developed their own space programs. Russia's space program has a long history and is known for its space stations and satellite launches. China has been rapidly expanding its space program in recent years, with the goal of establishing a manned space station and sending a mission to Mars. Both countries also have anti-satellite capabilities, which can be used to disable the satellites of other countries. Military readiness. Russia and China have different levels of military readiness. Russia has a highly trained and experienced military, with a long history of warfare and conflict. However, its military readiness has been affected by economic sanctions and budget cuts in recent years. China's military, on the other hand, has undergone rapid modernization and expansion, but some experts have raised concerns about its combat readiness and the effectiveness of its training and equipment. Military operations. Russia and China have engaged in military operations in different parts of the world. Russia has been involved in conflicts in Syria and Ukraine, as well as in operations in the Arctic and the Mediterranean. China has been expanding its presence in the South China Sea and has been involved in peacekeeping missions in Africa. Both countries have also been involved in joint military exercises with other countries, including each other. If Russia and China were to join forces militarily, it would create a formidable alliance with significant military capabilities. Combining Russia's nuclear arsenal, advanced technology, and experience in conflict with China's large manpower, modernization efforts, and economic resources could make them a dominant force in the world. However, there are also potential challenges and risks associated with such an alliance. For example, Russia and China have historically had differences and competing interests, and it is not clear whether they would be able to overcome these differences in a military alliance. Additionally, such an alliance could provoke counterbalancing efforts from other countries, potentially leading to increased tensions and conflicts. Furthermore, there could be implications for global stability and the balance of power. A Russian-Chinese military alliance could be seen as a threat by other countries, leading to increased arms races and tensions. It could also lead to a more assertive foreign policy by Russia and China, potentially destabilizing regions where they have interests. In summary, a military alliance between Russia and China could create a significant military power, but it also comes with risks and challenges. The implications of such an alliance for global stability and security would depend on a variety of factors, including the relationship between Russia and China, the reactions of other countries, and the actions taken by the alliance itself. Additionally, a military alliance between Russia and China could have economic implications. Both countries are major players in the global economy, and a closer military alliance could lead to increased economic cooperation and coordination. However, it could also lead to increased isolation from other countries, as well as economic sanctions and other forms of economic retaliation. Furthermore, there are implications for human rights and democracy. Both Russia and China have been criticized for their human rights records and their lack of democratic processes. A military alliance between these two countries could further entrench authoritarianism and suppress dissent, potentially leading to negative impacts for people living in these countries. Finally, a military alliance between Russia and China could also impact the global response to issues such as climate change and pandemics. Both of these issues require international cooperation and coordination, and a military alliance between Russia and China could complicate efforts to address these challenges. In conclusion, while a military alliance between Russia and China could create a significant military power, it also comes with significant risks and challenges. The implications of such an alliance would extend beyond military power and could impact a range of global issues, including economics, human rights, democracy, and global cooperation. It's important to note that currently, there are no indications that Russia and China are planning to form a formal military alliance. While the two countries have been strengthening their strategic partnership in recent years, their relationship is complex and multifaceted, with both cooperation and competition in various areas. Moreover, there are also potential limits to how much the two countries could cooperate militarily. For example, while China has been increasing its military capabilities and has modernized its forces in recent years, it still lags behind Russia in terms of military technology and experience. This could create challenges for a joint military operation, as the two countries may have different military doctrines and strategies. A hypothetical war between Russia, China, and the United States would have severe global implications, as these three countries are major military powers with significant economic and diplomatic influence. A war between them would likely result in widespread destruction and loss of life, as well as significant economic disruption and geopolitical realignments. In such a scenario, it's difficult to predict who would emerge as the victor, as all three countries have significant military capabilities and resources. However, it's clear that such a conflict would have severe consequences for all parties involved and could potentially lead to the use of nuclear weapons, which could result in catastrophic consequences for the entire world. Moreover, a war between these countries would have significant global implications beyond the military and economic domains. It could lead to a fragmentation of the international order, potentially leading to the emergence of new regional powers and the breakdown of existing alliances and institutions. Therefore, it's critical for policymakers and diplomats to work towards peaceful solutions to conflicts and to promote international cooperation and dialogue. A war between these major powers would be a catastrophic outcome for all parties involved and would have significant implications for the entire world. Furthermore, it's important to note that the likelihood of a direct military conflict between Russia, China, and the United States is relatively low. While there are certainly areas of competition and tension between these countries, there are also strong incentives for all parties to avoid direct military conflict. However, it's also important to acknowledge that there are potential flashpoints that could lead to a wider conflict. For example, tensions over Taiwan or the Korean Peninsula could escalate and lead to a military confrontation. Additionally, cyber attacks or other asymmetric threats could also escalate and lead to military action. Therefore, it's critical for policymakers and diplomats to work towards managing and reducing tensions between these countries, as well as to develop effective crisis management mechanisms in the event of an escalation. This includes efforts to strengthen arms control and disarmament regimes, promote transparency and confidence-building measures, and increase diplomatic dialogue and engagement. In conclusion, a hypothetical war between Russia, China, and the United States would have severe global implications and would likely result in significant loss of life and destruction. While the likelihood of a direct military conflict is relatively low, it's critical for policymakers and diplomats to work towards reducing tensions and promoting peaceful solutions to conflicts. This includes efforts to strengthen arms control and disarmament regimes, promote transparency and confidence-building measures, and increase diplomatic dialogue and engagement.